Do you affirm that your testimony will be truthful to the best of your knowledge, information, and belief?
I do.
You may begin your testimony.
Yes, good afternoon. My name is Michael Ryan. I'm the Executive Director of the Board of Elections. Seated to my immediate right is Dawn Sandow, the Deputy Executive Director, as well as other staff that is present. The core mission of the Board of Elections is to provide a full and fair opportunity for each registered voter in the City of New York to exercise the voter franchise. This mission is one of great responsibility and one that is taken very seriously. As such, the circumstances regarding the removal of voters from the rolls in Kings County and the related questions are clearly troubling. The immediate and most important issue addressed by the Board post-election was to identify any voter improperly removed from the rolls who voted by affidavit. Once those voters were identified, proper steps were taken to ensure the voted ballots were counted and included in the certified election results. While prior errors could not be undone, the Board was committed to counting every eligible vote during the post-election process. The Board instituted an intensive review process of all affidavit ballots initially determined invalid. Each ballot in this category in all 5 boroughs was scrutinized for potential eligibility over and above the routine valid-invalid ballot process. This resulted in the counting of votes in the certified vote totals that would have otherwise been invalidated. The Board cannot and will not tolerate any deviation from governing statutes or Board policy, particularly when involving voter rights. The Board is in the process of reviewing in detail every aspect of the voter registration and voter archiving processes, both internally and externally, to make certain that the integrity of these processes is maintained at every step. The Board is fully cooperating with the Office of the New York State Attorney General, Bureau of Civil Rights, in the investigation of this matter. The Board has been in close contact with the Attorney General's staff and has provided all of the information requested to date. In addition to telephone communication and written communication, the Board has met directly with Attorney General staff to address all questions and concerns that have been raised thus far. It is anticipated that this process will continue for some time. I can assure these committees that the highest levels of cooperation will continue until the investigation is concluded. The Board has been contacted by the Office of the Comptroller of the City of New York to schedule an entrance conference. While that meeting has not occurred, I can further assure that the Comptroller will receive the same level of cooperation as does the Attorney General. The Board is working closely with the New York State Board of Elections and the New York State Department of Motor Vehicles to examine every aspect of the electronic data sharing process. The Board is committed to working with our government partners to make certain that the automation of the voter registration process is performed accurately and effectively. The Board is further committed to utilizing available technology to enhance the voter experience. This can only be accomplished if all of the responsible agencies are working jointly to achieve this goal, and the Board will certainly do its part. The Board recognizes that the actions taken in Kings County should not have occurred. The Board also recognizes that these actions contributed to reducing public confidence in the election process. The public trust is paramount. It must be cultivated and preserved. The Board will work strenuously to keep, maintain, and improve all aspects of its responsibilities so that the citizens of the City of New York can effectively and actively participate in the election process with pride and confidence in the system. With respect to fiscal year 2016, I would like to thank the City Council and the Mayor for providing the necessary funding to the Board to meet its constitutional and statutory mandates, as well as the needs of the voters of the City of New York. This responsible funding partnership has allowed the Board to conduct the business of election administration, manage its finances, and engage in more effective short and long-term budget planning. As in the past, the Board continues to look forward to fulfilling our mandate of ensuring that all eligible voters have the opportunity to freely and independently exercise the voting franchise. With respect to fiscal year 2017, The board would also like to take this opportunity to extend its gratitude to Mayor de Blasio, his administration, and the New York City Council for partnering with the board. The funding provided in the mayor's fiscal year 2017 budget is $123.7 million, of which $52.3 million is allocated for personal services and $71.4 million is allocated for other than personal services. The board acknowledges that its fiscal needs are fully met to conduct 2 citywide election events, including a citywide primary in September of 2016 for the state, Senate, and Assembly seats, as well as the general election, which happens to be a presidential year, in November of 2016, which also includes Supreme Court positions and congressional seats, the United States Senate, as well as the offices from the September primary. The board reaffirms its responsibility to work closely with the mayor's administration to ensure that all fiscal needs will be provided for through the end of 2017. The board and the administration have conducted regular meetings throughout this process, and it is anticipated that that pattern of consistent communication will continue throughout the remainder of the fiscal year. As always, my colleagues and I are available to answer any questions that you may have, and we are always available if anyone should need further information. In addition, while the investigation into the matters in Kings County remains ongoing, I am prepared to answer any questions regarding what transpired and that has been learned to date. Thank you for your time.